What does financial management process mean? It is a process that involves managing money from sources of income into savings, expenses, protection, and investments. These are the financial management process: setting goals, evaluating financial status, creating financial plan, carrying out financial plan, and reviewing and revisiting the progress. For the first process, which is setting goals, it can be divided into two processes, which is short-term financial goal and long-term financial goal. For the short-term financial goal, it can be achieved less than a year and do not involve a large amount of money. While for the long-term financial goals, it usually takes more than 5 years to achieve and it involves a large amount of money. In order to achieve a smart financial goals, we need to apply a SMART concept, which is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound.
Next, after we have setting our goals, we need to evaluate our financial status. By doing this, it can help us to measure our performance and the effort of achieving the goal. But first and foremost, we need to know what is asset and what is liabilities. Asset is a useful or valuable thing such as cash, savings, and fixed deposits, while liabilities is a thing which someone is responsible, for example, bank loans and credit cards. Then, we need to create financial plan which helps us to monitor our cash flow. Before that, I would like to explain what is income and what is expenses. So there are two types of income, which are active income and passive income. Active income is the main income such as salaries, allowance and commission, while passive income is rent received, dividend and interest received. Next, we look at expenses. There are also two types of expenses, which are fixed expenses and variable expenses. Fixed expenses is the expenses that must be paid or spent, while variable expenses is the expenses that will change every month according to our spending behavior. So, if the total income more than total expenses, it means positive cash flow, while if total income is less than total expenses, it means negative cash flow. So there are 6 steps that we need to consider before creating a plan. Firstly, we need to define our short-term and long-term goals. Secondly, we need to make an initial budget to achieve our goal. Thirdly, we need to calculate our monthly savings that is needed to achieve the short-term and long-term goals. Fourth, we need to analyze our spending behavior. Fifth, we need to set a time frame to achieve our goal. And lastly, we need to determine our income strategies that will help us to achieve our short-term and long-term goals.
What is carrying out a financial goal? Carrying out a financial goal is to identify any wastage and reduce actual expenses in order to meet the expected planned expenses. And what are the examples for a financial goal? The examples of a financial goal is to follow an early plan, prioritize payment for fixed expenses, ensure monthly cash flow is always positive, and always compare and change planned monthly expenses and actual expenses. So, we must always review and revisit our progress. So, firstly, make sure your cash flow is always positive to achieve financial goals, and prepare change for financial goals to make sure it is realistic and achievable.
Moving on, this is an example question. Based on the SMART concept, elaborate the goals for the following example. Derek is an engineer with a salary of 6,000 ringgit a month. He wants to buy a car priced at 80,000 ringgit. He borrowed 60,000 ringgit from a bank for a period of 5 years. So the first one, S, stands for specific. It means that we need to state Derek's aim. So specific, Derek wishes to buy a car priced at 80,000 ringgit. Next, M from measurable. Derek borrowed 60,000 from the bank. It means Derek had already put a down payment of 20,000 for the car. So, 60,000 ringgit divided by 5 years result to 12,000 ringgit per year. And we divide 12,000 ringgit by 12 months, so Derek needs to pay 1,000 ringgit per month. Next, attainable, the possibility of success. So, with a salary of 6,000 ringgit, Derek is able to pay the monthly installment of 1,000 ringgit. Next, realistic because his salary exceeds the monthly installment. And lastly, T, time bound because Derek needs to pay back his loan in the period of 5 years.